What's going on, guys? Asian Eyes White Dragon here. This is going to be a deck profile for a Darkworld deck. Now, you notice there's no tour guides or no ravens in here. This is more for a budget. Someone asked me to make this, and so I thought this deck was pretty good. I've been playing around with it. It's relatively good. I do like it. It's fun. The only budget card that might not be considered budget is Blackluster, but that kind of goes in every deck. And, obviously Tour Guide's a lot more expensive, and same with Raven, and Blackluster is just too good not to run. But anyways, let's get on with the deck profile, then I'll try to explain some of the things if they need to be explained. So we got two beiges, it's really good with Raven, but, not bad just to get summoned and then just, put it back to get out of Grapha. Then you have Blackluster, best card in Yu-Gi-Oh! At the moment. And then we got three brows, just because it gives you draw power, puts darks in the grave. You could opt to run Dark Arm Dragon, although most of the time I just kind of removed once per turn anyways and just drew. So it was just really nice, but Dark Arm could be an option if you do happen to like it. And then two Veilers, these are just the lights that, help out get out your Envoy. And then we got Gores, the Emissary of Darkness. Yes, you are running Gates of the Darkworld, but at certain times when your opponent goes heavy and then they try to push for game, Gores is just really nice to have. Plus, sometimes Darkworlds you can kind of open up bad if you don't happen to have your drag down to the grave, or you just don't happen to draw into cards that you can't actually discard, which does happen, and Gores is just really nice to help you survive. Plus, it does work with the field spell because it is also a fiend, so it's pretty nice in that aspect. And then three Grapha, really good, and then three Snow. So if you're getting three of the structure decks, you'll be pretty good to go with most of the cards in this deck. And then Dark Hole, obviously, no explanation for that. And then Darkworld Lightning, I do like running three of these just because it's so nice to hit down face-down monsters that are floaters. Like if, someone goes first turn, sets Tengu for whatever reason, it's just really nice for that. And then, if you have a card to discard that lets you either draw or maybe discard Snow, it's just really good. And then this card is really good right here. I love playing three of these, Drag Down to the Grave, because you can essentially set everything else and then just make it so your opponent has to discard Grapha or any card really, and then you just essentially plus off of it. And it's just really nice to get rid of your opponent's Monster Reborn, any card that's problematic. Maybe they have Christia. Like if you drag down to the grave their Christia, then you go, okay, reborn your Christia, they pretty much lose. Like if you reborn any Christias against any fairy player, the deck does fall apart relatively fast. And then we got two MSTs along with the heavy and reborn. Those are kind of obvious. Two MSTs. Yes, Darkworlds, they don't really need to destroy like Skill Drain or anything because all their effects resolve off the field. But there are a lot of decks that are playing D-Fissure now. Like I played quite a bit of Macro Monarchs this past week, and then also if anyone's playing like Remove Rabbit, they just main deck D-Fissure, and D-Fissure hurts really bad. So it's just nice to have two MSTs. And then we just got one Duality, just kind of nice. If you already have Grapha on the field and then you just go attack with Grapha and then you end your turn, it's nice to Duality into maybe a Veiler to stop their plays. And then one Smashing, just because it works really toughly well against Christia. And then against any other Darkworld player, like if you're playing Mirror Match Darkworlds, and you go, okay, Smash and Grind your Grapha, and then you reborn their Grapha, again, it's just too good, and then they don't have, Grapha anymore. And then three Gates of the Darkworld, just really good. Two Bottomlesses, two Deep Prisons. These are just, again, more protection against Christia. And Bottomlesses are pretty good, and it's a relatively easy card for most people to obtain since it is a budget deck. Bottomless really good against Rabbit if you already have it set. Then just go special summon Kabzulas or Sabersaurus and just Bottomless both of those. Really good. And then just two Mind Crushers just because it works relatively well, especially when you open up a Trap Dashu. Plus, obviously Darkworld's effects. Also, it does come in the structure deck, and again, I'm trying to help make this a budget deck. And then Mirror Force got reprinted multiple times, and Torrential's relatively easy to get as well. And as far as extra deck, since you aren't running Raven, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to synchro for like Highlander. But basically, Levier is really good. If, however, you happen to get out double Brow, you could go for Levier and then get back maybe a card that you've removed for Gates of the Darkworld, which can be an option. There's nothing really too good to get back. Snow does come at 2,000, but there's a lot of room in the extra deck. There's not really anything that you will be going for, essentially. Veiler's your tuner there. You could make Scrap Dragon, like if you go, drop a Gores and then you summon Veiler, you can make Scrap Dragon. That's pretty much how you're going for 8s. And the off chance that you happen to be able to go for Trish, it is quite amazing. But basically, these were used because I was running tour guides before. but you're not going to be synchroning too much or XYZing in this deck at all. So, but I mean, it's definitely good to have them. But anyways, if you guys have any suggestions, obviously Tour Guide is better, but you know, this is, keep in mind we're trying to make this a budget deck for someone that requested it. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think of this deck. If you have any suggestions, let me know in the comment section down below. But thanks for watching, guys. Asian Eyes White Dragon signing out.